this offseason is going to be wild with this team. They've got all these picks. They've got all this cap space. Brett Veach can sit there and talk all he wants about how patient he's going to be. Brett Veach and patience mix like oil and water. Like, he is not going to be patient. He's Brett Veach. They are going to be aggressive. They always are. And they're aggressive when you don't expect them to be aggressive. Like, now they are in this position where it's like, hey, Brett, you got 11 on the blackjack table. What do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know, just hit that mother. And it's just, it's like, I expect you to have to break out that blazer quite a bit.
You can't win a Super Bowl if your quarterback is terrible. It happens.
Yeah.
It's extraordinarily rare.
We won 2 Super Bowls without Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier having Tyreek Hill on the goddamn offense.
Two things can be true at the same time. The Chiefs are a really good team. The Raiders are an absolute disaster.
It's That Football Show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Friday edition of That Football Show. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Bald & Bond Bourbon, and Holiday Distillery, for getting us ripping and ready to go for this Friday before free agency edition of That Football Show. Lots of things have happened since we recorded a podcast. I do think a lot of this too. Juwan Taylor officially got cut, I believe, since we recorded. Obviously, the Trent McDuffie thing happened, but we continue the trend, Matt, of us posting a show and something immediately happening right after. How you doing?
Doing better than the Bills, who I have many questions about and no answers. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm sitting here hanging out. This is the third pod I've done today. And after this, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to get my bottle of Holiday bourbon out, and I am just going to start drinking responsibly. I'll give my keys to my kids and make sure that I don't drive. Right. You know, it'll be all right. No, listen, it's been good. It's been good. I woke up today, did a little work, and I saw the trade with the Bills and the Bears, and I was like, wow, all right, DJ Moore, he's a useful player. Probably gave up like a fourth.
Sure,
No. Not only gave up a second, but basically made him part owner of the team with the way they restructured the contract. So that was interesting. But a whole lot to talk about. Juwan Taylor out the door. Trent McDuffie out the door.
Yeah.
A whole lot of cash and cap in the door. And opportunities abound for Brett Veach, who I feel like, if we got a live look at Brett Veach on Monday, it's going to be Brett Veach just smoking 8 cigarettes simultaneously with like 3 phones in each hand. I feel like that's going to be a live look at Veach. It's going to be fascinating.
So in case you didn't know, in case you've been living under a rock, the Chiefs are expected to trade Trent McDuffie when the league new year opens. Chiefs fans are pretty familiar with like this concept of waiting until the league new year opens for a trade to go through. With like the Alex Smith trade is one that that's one that harkens back to me in my memory when I think about waiting for the league new year.
Yeah, which is Wednesday, by the way, at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Correct. So it will be until 4 p.m. Eastern that this trade is going to be supposed or agreed upon, and then it will become official after that. They are sending Trent McDuffie to the Rams. They are getting, in return, the Rams are giving the Chiefs a 2026 first-round pick that's number 29 overall in this year's draft, a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick in this year's draft, and a 2027 third round selection. That's all going to Kansas City for Trent McDuffie. That was reported by a lot of people. Ian Rappaport, Jordan Schultz, Adam Schefter. Take your pick, throw a dart on a dartboard, whoever you want to credit. That's who had it all out there. Trent McDuffie is also expected to sign a new deal with the Los Angeles Rams. We don't have the terms of that, but it is expected that Trent McDuffie is going to be asking for north of $30 million. And I think we all kind of assume that, right, with Trent McDuffie and where his camp was headed, but we'll see where that goes. Matt, first thoughts and reactions on the trade. A, did it surprise you? And B, thoughts on the return?
It surprised me. No, it didn't surprise me. They made it clear that they were trying to get an extension done. They talked about that at the combine. Yeah. So in that regard, you're like, okay, well, maybe they're committed to really just doing this no matter what. In that regard, a little bit, but it didn't surprise me really because, look, I think they would take that return for any player on the roster, not named Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like, there were people in the league who felt like if they get a first-round pick straight up, that's good.
Yeah.
And they got a first, next year's third, this year's fifth, this year's sixth. And that is, and I'm not killing the Rams for it. Listen, I get why they did it, but that is a lot. That is a lot of picks. I texted somebody high up in the organization right after the trade and said, is it fair to say this is Tyreek 2.0? And they said yes. I then asked that person essentially, what kind of cash savings is this for the Chiefs? In other words, what would the guaranteed money have looked like for McDuffie? And the answer was $90 million. So we're talking about a lot of money. Okay. For reference, if you go and you look at other top paid corners in the NFL, okay, the Stingleys, the Sertans, the guys like that, the highest practical guarantee, Derek Stingley, $89 million. Okay, McDuffie was going to eclipse that if he decided Kansas City.
Yeah.
And while people will sit there and say, well, yeah, they saved 13 in cap, and if they'd extend them, they probably would have saved, $5-6 million. They saved $90 million in their cash budget for this year. Like, that's money that has to be allocated immediately and put in escrow by Hunt. Now that money can go to a lot of other players. And $90 million guaranteed can get you a lot of talent. I mean, that's 4 or 5 real players.
Oh, yeah.
Real players. I mean, that's 4 or 5 guys, or 3 great players. Like, that's a lot of money. So, in fact, if you look at the entire league, okay, if you take out, let me see if I can do this all in one shot here. Okay. If you take out quarterbacks, how many players do you think are getting paid? Actually, better way to do this. Quarterback and edge rusher.
Yeah.
How many other guys are getting paid $90 million in guarantees?
Maybe
in
2.
The entire NFL.
Maybe 2.
6. Chris Jones is one of them, by the way.
Right. Yeah. That's
okay. So if you're not a quarterback or you're not an edge, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Chris Jones, Rashawn Slater, Garrett Wilson. That's the whole league. I'm not saying that McDuffie's not a great player, and the Rams, I'm sure, would be thrilled with him. But
sure, absolutely.
That is a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And I understand. And honestly, look, we've talked about this. I've been in the guy. I would have traded him. As terrific as I think he is, I would have moved him for this reason. Now you're sitting there. You have 3 picks in the top 40, 4 in the top 74. That is a lot of ammunition to go out and make this team better in a hurry. Okay, plus all that cash budget, plus the extra cap space.
Yeah.
I will say this. As we're recording this Thursday night, it's 100 hours away. Mm-hmm. I expect them to be extremely active over the next 6 to 7 weeks. I would expect the Chiefs to do a lot over that time frame.
Look, I think it signals to a lot of people too publicly now that this team knows that this is a rebuild, right? Like they are trying to retool how their defense looks. They are trying to retool how it looks. I'm glad that you brought up like the Tyreek Hill kind of trade. I think it's an interesting comparison to make with the Tyreek Hill trade and with this one, because when you talk about with the Tyreek Hill trade, right, it has you have the moving parts of, all right, already on that offense, you had Patrick Mahomes, you had Tyreek Hill. So you had those established pieces on that offense to where you probably could afford to give away Tyreek Hill. And so you could rebuild the defense a little bit more because you had that kind of leeway, I guess you could say, on that side of the ball to do that. If you're thinking about it in the Tyreek Hill vein of things of saying like, hey, we are trading away a defensive piece to get assets to rebuild the offensive side of the ball. If that's how you want to like kind of look at it, right. It's tough for me because they don't have those established defensive pieces where they can kind of lean on and give them some leeway on the defensive side of the ball. Chris Jones obviously is still there. Nick Bolton is making a lot of money. That is true about Nick Bolton.
Yeah. That is true about Nick Bolton.
That's all I'm going to say about Nick Bolton right now. that he is making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he can't get out of that contract next year. That'd be something to watch. I do think I see the thought process. I see completely like the return, I think, is more than I would have actually anticipated without them actually having to send a pick back too. Like just straight up Trent McDuffie and you get 4 picks, a future 3rd round pick, I think is also really great in that deal as well. I think that return is something you can't say no to, as you mentioned. I think they put themselves in the situation where they had to trade Trent McDuffie by signing Nick Bolton, by signing George Karlaftis. It put them in the situation where they couldn't necessarily add on the type of contract that Trent McDuffie was asking for on top of what they're investing into that defense when it comes to their what is it? What do they call it in business where it's like your cost to return? I haven't worked an office job a day in my life. I wouldn't really know your cost effect analysis or something like cost benefit analysis, whatever it is. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comment section what it is, but you can't sink more money into that side of the ball with those 3 guys right there. And Chris Jones is making a ton of money too on the other side of 30, on the plus side of 30.
Right.
So like they put themselves in the situation where they kind of had to trade Trent McDuffie, I think. When it comes to their construction and roster building, especially when it comes to last offseason, I think they kind of made their choice when it came down to it, when they extended George Karlaftis and also Nick Bolton.
So I feel a little differently about this because if they wanted to pay Trent McDuffie, they could have paid him. Like they had the financial wherewithal to do it. Now, to your point, I think they clearly felt like those other guys were easier to fit into their puzzle, so to speak, because you're talking about a lot less money. Although, I mean, not that they're cheap, but they're less money than $90 million guaranteed. We don't have to relitigate how we all feel about this Nick Bolton contract, which I think is pretty well established. We do not disagree on how we feel about this Nick Bolton thing. I would say this. I would say, look, I went back and looked at the Chiefs roster when they made that Tyreek Hill trade. The leading rusher on that team was Darrell Williams with 500 yards. And the 3 receivers behind Hill were Hardman, Pringle, and DeMarcus Robinson. Like, they basically had Kelsey and Mahomes.
Yeah.
And rookie Creed Humphrey and rookie Trey Smith. Like, that was what well, guess what? They still have Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, and they've still got Kelsey, apparently. And like, like defensively, that team, if you go back and look at it, rookie Nick Bolton, Chris Jones, that's it. Travarius Ward and Tyrann Mathieu left. They never played another game there.
Right.
You know, I mean, you want to include Frank Clark? Like, that roster was in as bad of shape, if not worse shape, than this one is. Like, this one at least has Josh Simmons. Like, this one, whatever you think of Xavier Worthy and on-field Rashee Rice, I don't know. But, like you know, which is like kind of like a part-time thing.
Yeah, right.
You know, maybe a no-time thing. I don't know. The point being, they were not in that different of a position then. That roster had holes all over it. And I remember then thinking like, all right, this is going to take a little while. And then they went to 3 straight Super Bowls and went over.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets glossed over every time trades like this happen. They have to nail the fucking picks.
Yep.
And in 2022, they did. They took McDuffie. They took Karlaftis. They took Cook. They took Watson. They took Pacheco. They took Chanel. Like, they nailed it. They've got 9 picks right now, 3 in the top 40. I don't expect all 3 of those top 40 picks to be awesome players. Like, that's just unrealistic. 2 of them better be. You know, like, and then, so like, if I'm the Chiefs, I almost look at this as like the first 3 picks they have and then the last 6. If you walk out of this with 2 really, really good players in the first 3 picks, and then of the last 6 picks, 3 solid players, just like, don't ever even make a Pro Bowl, but just 3 guys,
contributors,
good players, just good, solid. Hey, man, that guy's 4 years, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever we end up having for. That guy is a good, solid player. A guy like, you know, it's overall the last year, like Noah Gray or Mike Dana Like guys like that who you're like, hey man, that guy's just a good player. The Colin Saunders of the world. So like, if they walk out with that and have a good free agency class, they will be competing for the Super Bowl next January because who they have a quarterback. Like they will compete. But if this is one of these drafts where they take, FAU and Clyde and our favorite guy that we always talk about, that I won't even say the name because I feel bad at this point. Like if they do that, that's a problem. Like you can't do that. You have to nail these picks. So look, the Chiefs are in a position they haven't been in a long time. The last time the Chiefs had 3 picks in the top 40, I said this over on my pod, and I had Briscoe on and screaming at him. No, not really.
Good.
Was when they drafted Glenn Dorsey, Brandon Albert, and Brandon Flowers.
Pretty good players.
Yeah. And by the way, the pick after that, as Briscoe pointed out, was Jamal Charles.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah. That's how you get good. Okay. I mean, except for that team in which you just never got good because you never had a quarterback. Okay?
Yeah.
But like, if you draft like that and you have Mahomes, that's how you get good very quickly.
Sure. Yes.
So that's a key. Look, this trade is a really good trade value wise. I have not seen one person say this is not a good trade for the Chiefs. But you need to then nail the picks. If you nail the picks, awesome. You got to nail them.
Another comp that was brought up about this trade was also the Marcus Peters trade. It's really easy to talk about it because it was clear it was the same team in the same position, and it was kind of like, I think that's kind of interesting. So the Chiefs traded Peters, if you guys don't remember, and a 6th in the 2018 draft to the Rams in return for a 4th round pick and a 2nd round pick in the 2019 draft. So they got a 4th in 2018, a 2nd in 2019. I believe that they ended up, they traded Marcus Peters away after they got Kendall Fuller. That's right. I remember how that went down. And look, the Rams then went on a Super Bowl run that year. If you remember in 2018, they went on and they went on to make it to the Super Bowl. So could it be good for the Rams? I actually think this is a rare trade where like both teams come away and be like, yeah, that was actually really sick. Actually, we really like that. We really got a good deal there. And I think both teams feel very good about it.
The two teams and the player. Like everybody, he's going to get the player he wants. He's getting the money. He got 2 rings out of it in KC.
I think that
there's nobody who's unhappy with what happened.
It's just business is what happened. Business is what happened here.
So, if you're the Chiefs, now it's about, look, you are now set up to have an absolute bonkers offseason, which is great for people like us because,
dude,
I'm waiting for 11:01 Central Time on Monday when the Chiefs announce like 4 different signings just simultaneously. Veach is like basically like Oprah giving out cars. Or if they don't do anything in the first hour, the amount of tweets that are like, this team sucks. Veach is washed.
Wake up, Veach.
Yeah. Wake up, you bastard. And then like they signed 3 guys at 5:00. It's like, Veach is the man. I knew he was. It's like, I always look forward to that. That's always a good time.
My favorite one last year is when they did Jalen Moore, right? The Jalen Moore was like, boom, Jalen Moore.
Like, I'm pretty sure at noon Eastern. They were just like, guess what?
And we were live.
Negotiated in 15 seconds.
We went live for that one, right? As we do on the breaking news team, which, by the way, I'll have to show you after we get off. Like, I can't show you in the recorded media, but I got the new breaking news team blazer. It's pristine.
Wow.
Very excited for it. So, like, they did that. And then I remember, like, 5 minutes later, I think 5 minutes into our live stream, they're like, oh, yeah, also we signed Elijah Mitchell. Just like, oh, all right.
As it turns out, don't worry about that one.
Yeah, man, if you look back, last offseason might be an offseason we talk about for like some time, being like, wow, they really swung and they really missed in that offseason.
Yeah, they were geared up for the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and they got old Uncle Charlie.
They did, man. They got the old
power.
Right, the Tim Wakefield knuckleballs. What the hell? They thought they were getting a heater knuckleball. I mean, Jerry Tillery. Remember when we were getting excited about Jerry Tillery?
No, I was not.
Okay.
Ever.
Fair enough.
I did not talk myself. By the way, right now, just in case anybody's curious, the Chiefs had the 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl.
Rams have the best, correct?
Yeah. So let me see if I can I say because I just saw it go across my screen. There was like a first things first clip. Okay, so
Good.
Yeah, the Rams plus 750. Seattle's second. They're at plus 900. Bills are plus 1,000, so 10 to 1.
Okay.
Ravens are 11 to 1. Eagles, Chiefs, Packers tied at fifth, 14 to 1. Yep. Is there any of those teams, like of those 7?
Yeah.
One of them sticks out to me that's unlike the others. I was like, why? Is there one that would stick out to you like that?
Packers? Oh, no, Ravens.
Okay, so okay. After I asked you the question, I was actually thinking about I'm like, there are 2. And those are the 2 teams. Yes. Like, why are the Ravens that like did I miss something? Have they ever won a game that matters? And did they make the playoffs last year? Like,
yeah, that's really odd. Why are the Ravens so high?
And then the Packers, like, what?
Yeah.
The last time we saw the Packers, they were busy blowing a hilarious lead to Chicago. The game that I was at. And I wrote 3/4 of the column and then watched that game unfold and just started solemnly deleting the column. And I was like, all right, well, I see how this is going to go. They're going to blow this game. So we can just skip right over to how depressing the Packers are. And yeah, they didn't disappoint.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, the Ravens one is confusing because it sounds like their head coach is just like, hey, Lamar, act like you want to play football. And so that's going to be an interesting dynamic. And the Packers are the Packers. I mean, Jordan Love is their quarterback. So I'm not going to buy any stock in the Packers. I'll be late to that bandwagon. I'll be okay. I'll be all right if I'm late to the Packers bandwagon, but I'm just not there with them.
I like them, but it like not that much.
Right. Not same odds as the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl much.
Yeah, the Eagles, like what? That seems I like a lot.
Yeah, the Ravens one is kind of bizarre too, because like
because they're the Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
it's a good start.
I don't know. Look at so the Chiefs are actually now favored to win the AFC West.
Oh, they've jumped the Chargers.
They jumped the Chargers.
Over the years.
Yeah, they jumped the Chargers there, plus 155 over our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. You can get the Chiefs at plus 155 there. And Chargers are plus 180. Broncos, the reigning champs, plus 230.
I got to be fair. This might be the only time I ever actually take up for Denver.
Disrespectful.
Why the fuck are the Chargers ahead of the Broncos? Like, what is the reasoning?
I don't know.
Oh, Justin Herbert, great. He has a worse playoff record than I do.
He blew.
The man is an atrocity in every playoff game he's ever in. Can someone explain to me why? Like, I don't know, man. I don't get it.
No, me either.
But in any event, we can digress here. Look, I also wanted to get to a trade that did not happen with the Chiefs, but
we got some steam to get to with that one. Let's take a break first, because I think you're talking about the Bills trade. I am. We got a lot of time to spend on that one. This is going to be people's favorite segment that we bring up on the show is just we shit on the Bills. Coming up next.
The Bills of the week is.
Yeah, we've got plenty to choose from. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
My name is Terrell Jolly. A lot of people call me TJ, founder and CEO of Integrity Capital Management. So Integrity Capital Management originally started out as a property management firm, but we slowly transitioned to what is described as an incremental development firm that's focused on situational housing. I know most people say affordable, but we believe in creating housing for people that are actually in need and build to the end user. I believe everyone needs a home, because when you have home, you have hope. The reality is that when you're building a business, one thing you don't think about is like what a true banking relationship means. And, you know, I had the honor and privilege of meeting Debbie early on in my career when I was just trying to get going. And as a small business, it's really challenging at times because people don't understand the concept or not believe the longevity because you're just getting started. But Debbie was willing to take a chance on me, be patient with me. I almost look at it like a grassroots initiative. She's seen and believe what I'm about. Anybody that's really true about their business and want to get some things done, I would definitely trust hands down Emprise, because Deb's team, along with Aaron and Jackie and all the amazing people that work behind the scenes, even from the treasury side, I would say, hey, give them an opportunity, because you won't be disappointed and you will actually be in hands that actually somebody care and that will see you from start to finish.
All right, let's get into it. The Bills also made a trade. They got their white whale. They got the one piece that they were missing. DJ Moore, only for a second-round pick, though, Matt. That's all it took to get DJ Moore, was a second-round pick and to fully guarantee his massive contract. Who would have thought that's all it would have taken?
I have so many thoughts on what happened, and I barely know how to organize them.
Okay, so it was so funny when like all of the news was coming out, because it was like,
it took an hour.
Yeah, it took a long time to get the actual compensation
to come out,
because probably the Bills didn't want people to know the actual compensation that they gave up, because like it was like, all right, here it comes. The Bills are getting DJ Moore. Josh Allen's getting his wide receiver one. Let's go, everyone being so excited. And then it was, oh yeah, by the way, it's a second round pick that they're going to give up for him. Crazy.
I was beyond floored. So I was on the phone with my editor when the trade was announced, but not the compensation package.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, they've got to be given a fourth up. Like, he's going to be 29 here before the season starts. He's coming off a year where he basically had 650 yards receiving.
Yep.
The Bears were like, you're our fourth option. Mm-hmm. We have Loveland, and at a bare minimum, 2 receivers we like more than you, and maybe 3. So I'm like, all right, like, you're going to be a fourth-round pick. Or fourth-round pick guy. And I can tell you, covering the league long enough, when it took a real long time for that to start trickling out, like what the value was.
Yep.
Antennas went up, and I'm like, somebody in this is embarrassed about what the terms of this deal are.
Mm-hmm. And
when I saw the terms of the deal, it became very clear which team that would have been. I thought it was a typo. Like, I really genuinely thought it was a typo. A second-round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be 29. He's coming off a down year. 3 of his last 4 years, he hasn't had 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brandon Beane, buddy, blink twice. Why? If you were going to do that, I mean, shit, they should have gotten A.J. Brown.
Right.
Call up the Colts, go get Pittman. Like, I was for, and then on top of that, they also guaranteed. Well, they will guarantee in 10 days his entire 2027 salary.
It's bizarre.
And 15 and a half of his 2028 salary. My God. They want to make a part owner while they're at it? Like, holy shit. If the Chiefs had done that, I'd be catatonic. Like, a second round is bad enough. The contract with it is insane. That is insane. And I wonder, so to me, though, the bigger question now, other than is Ryan Poles still alive after laughing so hard, they had to revive him.
Right, yes.
At Hallis Hall. Do the Bills feel like they're done at receiver? Because I've seen a lot of people say, well, they can't feel like they're done. It's like, okay, well, we didn't think they could feel like the second round pick and $100 million was good for DJ Moore either. But
yeah.
Guess what? things happen. I mean, that's a major investment in a receiver. It's not just the pick; it's a contract. So
yes,
it's like, okay, are they done with their heavy duty invest? I can't imagine they're taking a receiver in the first round now, right? Like that feels kind of insane. Are they going to go out and sign a receiver, like a big one, after what they just spent on DJ Moore? Like that feels like the big swing here.
Mm-hmm.
That feels like it kind of has to be. And I got to tell you, like initially when I saw the trade before I saw the compensation, I was like, okay, like he's a solid second receiver on a team. He's still got something to him. He's not maybe who he once was, but he's still a good player.
Sure.
Dude, that compensation's like you're a wide receiver one.
Yeah.
His cap it's $25 million.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the Bills cap situation, by the way, which is not fantastic. Okay, so including this trade with Moore, and it's unclear yet if they're going to do something with, if they're going to move base to bonus or whatever. As we sit here, they're $31.7 million over. Only the Vikings are in worse shape. And I started thinking like, okay, well, they're going to have to restructure guys. Like that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
First thought was, okay, well, they're going to restructure Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with that.
Uh-oh.
So he signed through 2029. So you got this year and 3 more. Fine. Mm-hmm. 3 void years. But here's the problem. So when the Chiefs did Mahomes' contract, when you restructure, for anyone out there doesn't know, you have to move base salary into bonus. You convert it into a bonus, and then it gets split evenly over the remaining years or up to 5 years. Okay. Mm-hmm. In most cases, remaining for Mahomes' contract so long as the next 5. Allen has 4 years left, so it would be 3 after this. So it would be split over the following 3 years, and then it all becomes guaranteed money.
Right.
But when the Chiefs did Mahomes' contract, it was like all in base salary because they knew like this is what we're going to do. Allen's is mostly in bonus money. It's in signing an option. So this year, for an example, his cap number is 56.3. His base salary is 16.5. So, like, I mean, you can restructure some of it.
Yeah.
But, like, not a ton of it. Like, I mean, you can restructure if they want. They could restructure 15 of it if they wanted to, which is legitimate. I mean, that's not nothing. Add $5 million per year the next couple of years. And then, look, they'll probably have him one more year on this current deal. And then when they get to 2028, they'll probably sit there and, maybe extend them or something like that, which is fine. But it's not like my point is, I thought they might just basically restructure him and be done with it. They can't do that.
Yeah.
Deion Dawkins is signed for this year and next year. And I don't know that they're going to want to touch that contract.
Yeah.
Ed Oliver this year and next year. And again, like, would you do that? I don't know. Dawson Knox, they could cut and save 9.6. Maybe that's a move they make. Josh Palmer is making 11.7 against the cap this year. And I did not read, they added a $3.2 million void year at the end of his contract, which is hilarious. The point is, if you're the Bills, who, by the way, other than the Eagles, maybe will have void years as much as any team in the league. Like every single one of these guys has like 8 void years attached to them.
Yeah.
I'm being facetious, but at least like 2. The Bills are going to have to basically restructure Allen and a few other guys, but like they're not going to have a lot of cap space. I mean, they're just simply flat out. Like there's not like the Chiefs could have $50 million in a snap of a finger if they wanted to. The Bills are with this Moore thing. Again, maybe they move some of his money around. I think even if they move Moore's money around, Allen, man, like best case scenario, this team's getting like $20 million in cap space. Like, I don't see them being able to do much more than that. And to spend a huge chunk of this on DJ Moore is just staggering. Like like I said, if the Chiefs had done that, I would have absolutely lost my mind. I was shocked that the Bills did what they did.
No, if they do this for like an AJ Brown, I think you can talk to yourself into it a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Like you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's like an actual wide receiver, but like as you mentioned with DJ Moore, who is 29, right? He
will be 29 next like month, yeah.
Yeah, will be 29 going into his age 29 season and didn't play well last year. Like that is certainly a choice for a guy that they have given the entire keys to the whole franchise to with Brandon Beane. They've elevated him from his position and gave him a promotion after all of this. So interesting to see as free agency kicks up and starts to wind up here. I was just looking actually at the NFL.com had how'd they call this? Ranking every NFL team by salary cap space and draft capital ahead of free agency. The Kansas City Chiefs, they have them listed at 5, up 18 spots after the Trent McDuffie trade. They got him up to pick number 5, 14 in cap space, according to NFL.com, and number 4 in draft capital. So averages out to about 9, but they've got 5 in terms of how they can spend in free agency. Now, we've seen a lot of reports out there, as this is kind of, Matt, our free agency preview, because we're not going to have, well, we will have another show before free agency, but it's basically going to be the shortest shelf life
for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be the shortest shelf life. We might just power rank everything that we see, basically. We might just power rank random things, talk shit on Get Up. Who knows what we'll do on that show. It won't be.
Get Up, by the way, was just a banger that they tweeted out on Thursday that I responded to and almost called the police over.
Yeah, we'll have to get to that. We have to make time for that. I don't care how long we go on this podcast, that has to get brought up. But as free agency starts to open up, we're going to have the free agent frenzy. You're going to have the breaking news team set up. With the trade of Trent McDuffie, does it change their outlook, you think, on how they approach free agency? Does this mean they're going to try to sign at corners at Jalen Watson all of a sudden, but Brian Cook now all of a sudden become a more bigger of a priority for them? Or is it still, hey, let's try to add some offensive pieces?
I still think with guys like Watson and Cook, I think it's about the number. I think for the Chiefs,
sure, yeah,
it's going to come down to, hey, look, we're set at a certain number. We're not going to go over it. If they lose those 2 guys, it adds, more to the plate of Brett Veach. It also gives them more ammunition. They have more money. Look, I think they view this year, and I felt this way before this McDuffie trade, but now I really do. This is an opportunity to remake this team around the next, core group of guys, which are Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, obviously Patrick Mahomes. I'd put Simmons in that group, provided he can just, keep on the right path. But I gotta tell you, after that, I don't know who the hell else to include in that group.
Yeah.
That's kind of it, which is the point. They need to find the next, 3, 4, or 5 more guys who are going to be in that group. I still am of the belief, and I know Nate has said this as well, and I echo it because I've been told the same things, I'm guessing probably by the same people. The 2 positions that they feel strongest about, that they need to correct, are running back and defensive line.
Yeah.
They have been adamant privately about that. Brett did not exactly hide that on the podium in Indianapolis.
Right.
But I can tell you, I've had conversations with people dating back to early December where it's been, look, we got to fix these 2 rooms. These 2 rooms are untenable. They're no good. We have Jones and Karlaftis, and we have 2 young kids, and we have nobody else we can rely on at all. And the running back room is basically an old folks home.
Mm-hmm.
And people at the home might be moving faster. So speaking of which, I smoked some ball on a guy in pickleball and then told him to go back to the home, and he did not appreciate it. Thought it was funny. Apparently it wasn't. Anyhow, don't tell people to go to the home, kids. Unless they really need to. They got lost or something. Right. Look, I still feel like for the Chiefs, if I had to just put down $20 on a thing that I think is going to happen with them, I think these running backs. I know there was a report. Jonathan Jones, a buddy of mine, does excellent work at CBS. I know he reported the Chiefs want to be around $8 million for a running back.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's not a good report. I'm just telling you, I know how they want to fix this running back room. And I know Nate has reported a very similar thing. I would be shocked if they're not pretty aggressive in the market here for a running back. And I would feel the same way about a defensive lineman. And it might be a defensive tackle. It might be a defensive end. They have to get back. If I were Brett Veach, my entire plan would be we're going to fix the pass rush and we're scoring 30 points a game. And we're going to ride the lightning with this secondary. Like that. I'm going to trust Dave Merritt and I'm going to trust Spags. And we are going with Hicks and Connor and a safety we draft and then or like a B level free agent, and then it is going to be Roland Wallace in the slot with Williams and Fulton on the outside with another a draft pick and maybe again like a B level free agent.
Kevin Knowles.
Beautiful. And we are going to score and we are going to shorten the time you have to throw the football.
Yeah.
And we are going to hope to God we can win like that. Like I mean, but keep in mind, like this team, they almost won the Super Bowl like that in 2018. Now, I don't know if they can replicate, Hill and Kelsey. Okay. But if they went out and got forget the names. I'm just throwing like if they signed ETN, they drafted Tate or Lemon, pick your guy, whoever.
Sure.
And they signed, I don't know, like Romeo Doubs.
Okay.
That offense should cook.
It should. They
should score a lot of points. Like, also, here's the Brett Veach chain smoked and got aggressive, like mock. What if at 9 they took like Carnell Tate, and then at 29 they moved up to let's say 22-ish and took Kenyon Sadiq?
Why not?
Just mayhem.
Yeah.
And then at 40, there's Denzel Boston. Just chaos. We are going to score at all costs.
They triple dip.
They do that. I think somebody needs to do a wellness check on Veach, but
probably, yeah.
But my point is, I think I still feel like we've talked about, they need to add, I kept saying 3 to 5. Now it's like 4 to 6 players who really matter. They don't even have to be like, when I say, I don't even mean like a first team all pro. Justin Reed really mattered. He never made a Pro Bowl.
Sure. Yeah.
He's a damn good football player. Like guys like Sammy Watkins was up and down in Kansas City, but he mattered. Like the guy made huge plays for them. Frank Clark, same kind of deal, but he made some huge plays. They need guys. They don't have to be all pros. They need guys that when they're on the field, they have to be accounted for.
Yeah.
They need 4 to 6 guys like that. And I would like to see the Chiefs focus on the D-line and on their weapons on offense.
I agree with you. I think they gotta be active in this free agency period. I wouldn't be surprised. I talked about this on Mitch Morse show. Actually, Mitch was kind enough to ask me to come on this podcast and talk with him a little bit about the Chiefs.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to get that call from as a Mizzou guy, as a guy who grew up a Missouri Tigers fan. That's a pretty cool
connection. Tigers chopping it up.
Yeah, just a couple of Tigers. We were talking about just a little bit about just like what they do in free agency, and one thing I said is, look, I think there's a possibility that they could not be done in the trade market, right? Like if this team wants to be really aggressive and they want to aggressively fix what happened, they could make another trade. It's not like it's impossible for them to make another trade. They have assets. They have players on their team that other people probably want on their team. We'll see if it happens. Yeah. We'll see what they like. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I wouldn't think it's an impossibility. I'm looking at these defensive line free agents, Matt. All of these dudes are old. Like interior defensive line. I mean, you got John Franklin Myers. He's 29. Calais Campbell, I think, is old enough to have watched the Declaration of Independence be signed. DJ Reader is 32. Dremont Jones is 29. Sheldon Rankins is 32. David Omanyata is 33. Kyrus Tonga is 30. And then you get to Logan Hall, who's 26. So, like, Logan Hall.
Hey, come on down, buddy.
Just by age alone, bring him in. But
I like Denico Autry for the 1 year. I'm on board.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, not that he's a long-term fix, obviously, but
yeah, but they need some like 1 year guys that they're gonna have to be able to sign because like they don't. Chris Jones and Omar Norman-Lott are your two interior defensive linemen right now.
Chris Jones is about to film a commercial for local TV where he goes on air and just says, "Please, I'm begging you."
He needs help. Help the man.
Yeah. Like it's gonna be like he's gonna be like in one of those like pastor suits, like the all black, like and like my brothers in Christ, please, I'm begging you for any help at all. So far, you've sent me George Karlaftis. It's not enough. We need help. By the way, you mentioned earlier, Calais Campbell might have been old enough to see the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which reminded me of a hilarious meme I saw earlier. And anybody out there gets offended by this, grow up. it was in the news on Thursday that the Secretary of Defense, Kristi Noem, was relieved of her duties. And so like an hour after I saw that news, I'm like, okay, fine. There was a tweet that was made to look very, very official. Like the graphic was repurposed.
Yeah.
And it was that she was hired as the Jets defensive coordinator. Because they're the Jets, for the splittest of seconds, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Like, no way.
I was like, I mean, Woody Johnson is in politics. Like,
true.
Was he like, hey, you know what? I like her knowledge. I like her game. Like, I saw it and just busted out laughing. That for the briefest of moments, I was like, did they? Did they do it?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the defensive tackle market. See, that's a place I'd go to the draft. Now, the scary part is well, to be fair, Veach hasn't been awful there. Like they've gotten Wharton and Saunders over the years, so it's not like they've never gotten good players. But
Nnadi too, yeah.
And Nnadi, listen, before like
beginning of career, Nnadi was good. I don't think we should be revisionist about Derek Nnadi. I know a lot of people in the comment section like to shit on Derek Nnadi.
Last year's Derek Nnadi was
rightfully so, but jet ski riding early career Derek Nnadi was like a very fun football
He's a good player.
Yeah,
He kind of had the same arc. I feel like with Chiefs fans like Dan Sorensen.
Sure, yeah.
Who was like that good underrated player for a long time, and then it got to a point. I was like, all right, it's enough. And then like there was another year of him, and you're like, all right, man, I think we've gotten all we can get out of him. And the only difference was they were like, nah, we're gonna trade for Nnadi. We ride again. And then Nnadi went out there and had one of the worst seasons I've ever seen from an NFL player.
You know what's crazy? He's like last year wasn't good, but it was better than the year before.
If you pull up his I hate to do this because I'm not trying to bag him, man. But if you pull up his Pro Football Reference page, it is staggering. Like
I just looked at it because of research.
Like so, last year, to your point, this is impossible, man. He started 11 games.
Yeah, he did.
Played 34% of the snaps. Played in 15 games. The man had 16 tackles. 0 for loss and 1 quarterback hit.
Yeah.
But again, to your point, the year prior, he played in every game. He recorded 11 tackles, 3 solo tackles.
3 solo tackles is staggering.
3 solo tackles. The man played 221 snaps.
Yeah. 3
tackles and no tackles for loss, no quarterback hits. But my favorite part of this page, it's not even close. Okay, not even close. So even though he signed with the Jets, if you may remember, he never played a down with the Jets.
Correct. I think I know where you're going with this. Yes.
His fucking picture on Pro Football Reference is him in a Jets jersey. It's like they saw him play the last 2 years. They're like, man, this guy's not good. He must be with the Jets. I can't believe this picture of this guy in a Jets jersey.
He wasn't with the Jets long enough for next
an hour.
He wasn't
on picture day. And the best part, he looks so irate that he's in that photograph. I can't believe this shit. I had to go sign with the Jets. Oh my God. That is the best part of that whole thing is the Jets. The Jets, it's like the ultimate drive-by. He didn't play a single down for him. And yet somehow the Pro Football Reference is like, hey, make sure to get him in a Jets jersey in that biopic. Oh my God, that's incredible.
He wasn't even there long enough for Fanatics to fuck up his jersey, you know? So, like, I mean, he was still.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to do. I want to see the actual timing of this. Okay, yes. On March 16th, 2025, Derek Nnadi signed with the New York Jets.
Yep.
On August 25th, 2025, Derek Nnadi was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs for a conditional 2027 7th round pick. They fucking traded a 27 7th?
That's right.
Do you think the conditions of wait, hang on. Nnadi was traded to the Chiefs with a 2027 7th round conditional 7th round in exchange for a conditional 2027 6th rounder. Oh my gosh. Do you think the conditions were conveyed?
I mean, the conditions must have been.
I think that remember when the Chiefs traded for Peyton Hendershot?
Yeah, and it didn't hit. Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
I mean, what could the conditions have possibly been? He plays for like 10 games. I'm not even trying to be serious.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's got to be.
Well, hang on. How many games did he play in last year? 11?
15. He started 11.
Oh, he played 15. Okay. Well, he only started. This is so funny. He played in all 17 games in 2024. Only started one of them. And that's when he had 11 tackles.
Solo tackle. I actually didn't even look. Did he have two tackles, solo tackles in any of the games? Like, was that basically like the entire season worth of production?
Ooh, like his game log for that year is what you're saying? Oh, let me go check that out.
This is, by the way, turned into an all-you-can-eat character assassination, Derek Nnadi.
Yeah, this is after we just got done saying, hey, earlier Derek Nnadi wasn't bad. And I was like,
I was brought to my knees by the fact that he is in a Jets photo on his Pro Football.
Oh, my God. He had 4 tackles against the Broncos in Week 18 that year where they sat everyone. Oh, that was his one start, too. And he had 4
solos?
No. He had 1 solo tackle against the Carolina Panthers, 1 solo tackle against the San Francisco 49ers, and 1 solo tackle against the Cincinnati Bengals. Those were his 3 solo tackles.
So the rest of the year, he had 7 total tackle. It's after the Broncos game, they made nothing. 7 total tackles across 16 games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dynamite. And then they traded to reacquire him.
Yeah.
So this all brings us back to the point that they need to invest in the defensive tackle position, okay?
Correct.
Because you can't have Derek Nnadi at this point in his career and Jerry Tillery. And look, I love me a little Big Mike Pennell.
Same. Great guy.
But it's over.
Yeah.
So, look, love Mike Pennell. Love him. Like, you always have a soft spot for Mike Pennell. But listen, time marches on. And time has come that they need to drastically reimagine that room, save for Jones and Norman Lott.
I agree. Now the edge rusher position is interesting too. There's a lot of guys I think that don't really necessarily fit what the Chiefs like to do on defense, which is rushing the passer, obviously. The Chiefs don't like to do that. Jalen Phillips is, according to NFL.com, is the number 1 edge rusher available with Trey Hendrickson as well. I think they're giving Phillips the edge there because of the age, I would assume. But Adafe always one that's get thrown around. Boye Mafe, Kwity Paye, Clavion Chase, and a husk of Khalil Mack. Joseph Osai would be a funny one if the Chiefs decided to sign him. I think that would be pretty funny. Joey Bosa is technically a free agent as well.
They better not sign Joey Bosa.
No. Arnold Ebiketie.
He's hurt every other game.
Yeah, they should not sign him. Just like the Bills shouldn't have signed him, they shouldn't sign him either. But here's the other part about the edge room is like they need bodies is the other part of it. Is like they're running out of bodies to throw at it.
Yeah.
And they're going to need to probably draft an edge and probably sign 2, maybe draft 2 edges at this point. I don't know, but like they're running out of bodies to throw at the issue. Felix is coming off of his injury. We don't know. I mean, for everything I heard about it, it's a pretty bad injury that he's coming back from, and who knows?
Well, and there hasn't been a lot there to this point. I mean, realistically, like
sure. And yeah, what you've seen from Felix, it's not been something to make you excited.
No.
Yeah, confident about it, and they just have a lot of holes there. I do want to talk a little bit about Leo Chanel too, because
keep talking. I'm charging this thing.
Yeah, go ahead, charge that computer. And Leo Chanel, according to NFL.com, is the number 3 linebacker available behind Devin Lloyd and Caden Ellis. There's been a lot of reports that they think the market for Leo Chanel could be kind of high, like you get a decent amount of money for Leo Chanel, but like I don't necessarily see that. I feel like is more beneficial to the Chiefs than any other team, but
well, it's just like I don't even know. Like he might be beneficial to other teams, but you're gonna tell me Quay Walker doesn't have a bigger market than Leo Chanel does?
Right, that's a good point. Yeah,
like, what? Or Bobby Okereke, who's a pretty damn good player. The Giants are cutting. By the way, the Chiefs ought to take a look at. Or Zaire Franklin, who is up for trade with the Colts, but also like might get cut if he's not traded. I like Leo Chanel.
I love those reports, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, but we're gonna cut him. But if you want to trade him, we'll trade him to you too.
Yeah, I know. That was the old. That was what happened with Rodney Hudson, and the Raiders were able to actually trade him, and they're like, oh, okay.
I was trying to think what the last one that actually happened that way, and I could not think of that one. So I'm glad that you brought up Rodney Hudson.
No, it's I'm just listen. At some point here, I like Leo Chenal.
Mm-hmm.
But let's also be real. Leo Chenal has been a part-time player for them.
Sure.
It's not like Leo Chenal has been this godlike figure on the team. Now, I would argue that he should have had a bigger role. Okay. I know a lot of Bills fans feel like he's a great fit for what they're about to do, and maybe will be, and that's fine. And I like Chenal. Don't get me wrong. I really do. He, in 41% of the snaps in both 2023 and 2024, had between those 2 years, combined, 4 sacks, 125 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8 quarterback hits. Also known as Derek Nnadi if he played 50 years. But to me, I'd love to see it. Chiefs bring him back. At the same point, this idea that his market is crazy, based on what? Now, every once in a while you're surprised. Listen, I didn't think last year that Turk Wharton was getting $17 million a year.
Shout out to him, though, dude.
Oh my God! When his agent got offered that, did he just start screaming deal into the phone?
It was the money ball where he puts it on mute and fist bump. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Had to collect himself for 10 minutes and then came back to the phone. I was like, all right, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see. I could see Watson getting a lot of money. I could see Cook getting a lot. Chenal, I think you get a nice deal. I just is somebody going to give him double digits per year?
I think that's what it sounds like, and that would be crazy to me.
I wouldn't do that.
No.
There's no way I would do that, man. Cook, I would consider getting into that $12 to $14 million range, and personally with Watson, I'd consider getting into that 15, 16 million. Now, I'm not going higher than 7 a year for Chenal. I like him, but I'm not. He's an off-ball linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And they're already paying Nick Bolton, who apparently is Mike Singletary. They're paying him $19 million against the cap this year.
Mike Singletary today, yes. That was a straight to Mike Singletary. I'm sorry, Mike.
I was going to say, I gotta be fair. I think Singletary still might have more range in the pass coverage game. So yeah, it's dawning on me, not maybe for the first time, but redawning how much work they have to do. As every time we've brought up a player or a position group, we just start talking about how terrible some guy was or is on the team. We're like, I'll tell you what about this guy. We spent 10 solid minutes talking about how bad a guy was that they traded for. Yeah. And he maybe wasn't even the worst guy in that room last year.
Oh no.
Distillery's got a strong argument.
That guy, I forgot he was on the roster. They signed him.
So did he. And then we're sitting here talking about how, listen, we both like Leo, but we wouldn't pay him a certain amount of money. And meanwhile, Jack Cochran's guess what? I'm about to take 58% of the snaps. So here we go.
Cole Christensen made $6 million last year or something like that. Something crazy. Really? Yeah, he was an exclusive rights free agent. They put a tender on him, and the tender that he had on him was a soup. I'll have to look. I'll double check it. What? But he made a stupid amount of money last year. I apparently
blocked that out of my mind so I could go on living.
Right. My number might be off, but it was a stupid amount of money. I do remember that. They
paid Cole Christensen $6 million. I will call everybody I know in the Chiefs front office right now, demand that they resign. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
2025.
But listen, this offseason is going to be wild with this team. They've got all these picks. They've got all this cap space. Brett Veach can sit there and talk all he wants about how patient he's going to be. Brett Veach and patience mix like oil and water. He is not going to be patient. He's Brett Veach. They are going to be aggressive. They always are. And they're aggressive when you don't expect them to be aggressive. Now they are in this position where it's hey, Brett, you got 11 on the blackjack table. What do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know, just hit that motherfucker. And it's just, I expect him to be, I expect you to have to break out that blazer quite a bit.
I got my white linebackers confused. Hand up, that one's on me. Jack Cochran made $2.1 million last year.
Which is still just obscene.
Yeah, I mean, it's not $6 million. I did it.
Cole Christensen made $6 million last year, I was going to call the local police department and send them down to 1 hour.
Gonna file a police report with Chicago PD.
I'm going to call KCPD and make, look, you guys have an email, because I'm going to send you a screenshot of this contract, and you're going to go down to 1 hour drive and arrest everybody involved in a sting operation.
I don't know who should be arrested more. If it should be the Chiefs front office for giving Jack Cochran $2 million, or Jack Cochran for stealing $2 million from the team.
I think it should be Tobe, who continued to allow this to go on.
Yeah, that's
was an all-time inside job. How could
I get my white linebackers mixed up like that?
Listen,
shameful.
I really wish you hadn't, because if they had given Cole Christensen $6 million, I was, as you said it, I'm like, I feel I would remember.
Yeah, Cole Christensen made $122,000 last year.
How much?
$122,000.
Still too much.
Yeah.
I would have had to have been hospitalized if they gave Cole Christensen $6 million. Oh my God! Don't give many ideas.
Yeah, right. It's a lot more fun to do podcasts when you just make shit up like that. That makes sense. A lot.
We won't get into it. We had a podcast we recorded one time where we ripped this shit out of somebody for 20 solid minutes, and thankfully checked just to double check to make sure we were correct. Yeah. Not only were we not correct, we were wildly incorrect.
So wrong.
We would have had to record a podcast as just a full-on hour-long correction.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we cut it. But yeah, listen, the point of this all is the Chiefs have needs on this roster. And now Brett Veach is going to the casino with about $30 million in his pocket, plus 9 draft picks, 3 of which that are extremely premium picks.
Mm-hmm.
I would not expect Brett to just walk through the casino and get a gin and tonic and go home. Like, think he's going to settle up the roulette table and be like, all right, put it on red, and then just see what I would expect them to be busy over the next few days here in a few weeks.
One thing they're not going to be busy on, I think, when you talk about the draft, we got to talk about the Get Up thing. I know we're hitting an hour mark on this podcast, but we've got to talk about how Get Up needs to be put down.
We do. We also need to at least acknowledge the fact that while we're doing this, the Texans agreed on a 1-year extension with Danielle Hunter. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, before you look at, would you like to take a guess at how much this 1-year extension is for?
With Danielle Hunter, who is like 47 years old, right?
Correct. A great player, but like,
yeah. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a few million. I'll say $6 million.
How do you feel about 40.1?
That's a lot of money.
40.1.
I missed that one. What did he do last year? Was he good last year?
Oh, he was great. He was great. But what? Like,
that's a lot of money.
I mean, love Danielle Hunter, but that seems not a small amount. He turns 32 in October. Like, listen, he's still awesome. Don't get me wrong. He was a second-team All-Pro. Like, but why is it a 1-year, $40 million extension? Like, how about just giving him like a 2-year deal that's not at $40 million a year?
That's kind of jarring. Yeah, and again, 1 year, $40 million. Hunter's been on fully guaranteed money with Houston since arriving in 2024, totaling $124.7 million. This deal takes him over $218 million in career earnings. That's per Jordan Schultz on Twitter. That's A lot of money.
I got questions.
Fully guaranteed. It's fully guaranteed.
Well, it's a 1-year extension. Like
Well, good for Daniil Hunter and family.
Bless, man. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Well,
fair enough.
Something else that's not very fair is Get Up being on the television, and it's almost an insult to humanity at this point. I watched a really good video from Drew Gooden on YouTube. It was about basically ESPN and like how like it's what ESPN's turned into, and a lot of the video was about Get Up, and it was obviously about like first take and like that and how that is, but like then the kind of bastardization of that type of content and kind of what Get Up has turned into, of trying to make something up about everything that happens in the sports hour. And one of the comments about it too is like, and this isn't what we're going to talk about, but like the second topic that they talked about on the show is what LeBron said on a podcast one time. And it's just like, hey, this is the middle of like basketball season. You can talk about like the games that are actually going on. Nevertheless, they try to talk about everything they can about the Kansas City Chiefs on Get Up, and they just show their ass constantly as, again, another national guy gets on Get Up and says how bad the Chiefs need an offensive lineman, and it's just painful at this point.
I have reached my breaking point as a human being. I can't go any further with this. I woke up, and it's basically like God just wanted to troll me. I opened my phone and I immediately saw this clip from Get Up, and I saw a tag like Chiefs Kingdom. I'm like, oh God. Like, okay. Yeah. God picks his toughest soldiers for his toughest battles. I'm like, okay, I'm going to open it. I opened it up, and Terry Douglas talking about how the Chiefs need an offensive lineman. And I just took my phone and I threw it out the window. I don't like. Somebody needs to make it stop. I can't take it anymore. Did anyone watch the Chiefs a year ago? Like, it's not like they're the Falcons who you see twice a year and you're like, oh, Bijan. And they're like, that's your only impression of the entire team. They're a fucking dynasty. Like, have you just been asleep for the last 7 years? Like, I'm sure you've seen them quite a bit. And yet, every time I turn on one of these shows, like, let me tell you, I think they need a right tackle. It's like, great. That's maybe the 7th biggest need on the team.
Yeah.
Like, please stop. I'm going to throw away everything I own that can convey information to me. I can't take it any longer. It needs to stop. Please make it stop. But apparently this is just going to be the like topic du jour all the way to the draft, which is just going to be great.
My favorite thing that's happening right now is just every time the Chiefs make a move, the national like media being like, oh, no, that's who the Chiefs are going to pick at 9 overall. Because it's like they traded Trent McDuffie and they're like, oh, yeah, now they're going to take Delane at number 9 now. They're going to take a corner at number 9.
Yeah.
Just like use some critical thinking maybe a little bit. But like these people show their ass so much when it comes to just like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's clear.
I honest to God, I don't. And then like, there's like all this stuff like, well, the Chiefs are going to go all in on Rasheed Walker, the tackle from Green Bay. I'm like, if the Chiefs give Rasheed Walker a massive contract, I'm going to lose my mind. Who the hell are they running the ball with or throwing the ball to? Is anyone alive who can explain this to me? Yeah, it has to Get Up needs to be taken off the air and then brought up on capital crimes at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's a public safety hazard at this point. I'm pretty sure.
I'm moving to Connecticut, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to picket outside of Bristol every day. I'm going to call the police department there. There is something awful happening in Bristol. I mean, what's going on? I'm going to Get Up just came on the air. And I need somebody to go there and immediately order a cease and desist. Also, I know not to be on the road at 3 o'clock in the morning or at noon, because somebody who's insanely over-caffeinated and or asleep at the wheel is going to be coming in or out of Bristol. And that is disconcerting to me.
It is It's a real bummer that this is the state of sports media, the state of ESPN, the once worldwide leader. Like we got to hear.
It's so bad, man.
It's disheartening. It's discouraging. It just is a lack of just general thought being put into the content. It's just slop. It's
so bad.
Yeah, and that's what is so disappointing to me.
The worst part, honestly, like the worst part is not even that. Hey, look, we're all wrong occasionally. That's fine. Okay, I sat here for a month last year and was like, I just don't think they're going to take a left tackle, and then they took Josh Simmons. We're all wrong. Shit happens. We own it sometimes. It happens. It's fine. We have a million opinions in this industry. That's our job. You're going to be wrong sometimes, and that's okay. But like, if you're wrong, evaluate why you're wrong. Why was I wrong about Josh Simmons? I was wrong about Josh Simmons because I was told by them multiple times, like, we don't like the tackle class, but never bothered to ask, like, well, what if so-and-so falls?
Mm-hmm.
I took it as like, well, they don't like the class. Well, I was wrong. They like Josh Simmons. They just didn't think it was going to get to him.
Sure.
That was a shortcoming on my end. I look at this and it's like, they don't give a shit that they're wrong. They don't care that they're wrong. They don't care that it's lazy content. They don't care that it's garbage that gets pumped out there. And like, to me, you could say, well, who cares? It's just a show. I care because it makes fans dumber.
Yeah. That's
why I care.
Yeah.
Your job is to entertain, but your job also is to inform fans. And like, I grew up on Peter Kammen's doing diamond notes on SportsCenter. Made it more fun. It was entertaining because I was a smarter fan. It was more entertaining because I was more intelligent about it. And if you sit there and you watch Get Up, you're like, yeah, I tell you what, Cowboys one move away. And also rotisserie chicken. I don't know what the hell's going on that day.
That was crazy.
and also the Chiefs need a right tackle. Like, you should be learning something. It can be entertaining and informative. It can be those two things. I promise you. Okay. I think this show at times is at least half of those things occasionally. Like at some point, I don't know, take some fucking pride. Like have any at all. But apparently that's been lost. I also saw, I want to make clear, I didn't see the video, but I saw the headline that Skip Bayless and his wife were going to break down the war in Iran. And I got to tell you.
I didn't watch the video. I saw the video. Yeah.
Like, typically speaking, when Skip's not pleased, he just takes off a Dak jersey and throws it solemnly in the garbage.
Sure.
Was he going to was he just going to take like a world map and just throw it in the trash? Like what was I have so many, like, who the hell's clicking on this? Who's like, wait a minute, I'm such a moron. I need Skip Bayless to tell me how I feel about the conflict over in the Middle East. Like, What is, like, if there's a person on this earth who saw the news that the United States entered into war and was like, listen, I want to have an opinion, but I need to know Skip's opinion. If that person exists, for the love of God, hide in a room and don't ever come out of it.
I disagree. I think they need to be euthanized.
I mean that's also fair. Like, that's also completely like. But if nothing else, the point is you can't spread.
Yes.
We can't risk you spreading. Like, you're a disease. Like, I at that point, like, if there's one human being alive who saw that news and stopped and went, shit, I wonder what Skip thinks. Like, that person needs to be taken out.
Yeah.
Of the general population. I am dismayed.
I mean, that's kind of like, I just want to know who's watching this shit, man. Like, who's watching Get Up? Who's watching First Take?
That's it. Like, and I don't even like the Skip Bayless thing. Was that like a YouTube thing, or is that like him on Twitter?
I think it was on Twitter. I was sent the tweet. Let me see if I can find it again, because I saw it. I didn't watch it.
I'm searching on YouTube. Skip Bayless, Iran.
Yeah, that's a wild search. That's
okay. Oh yeah, here, like, oh my God! Like, the title of this is today's Skip verse. I can't pronounce his wife's name. Is it Ernestine?
I think it's Ernestine. Yeah.
Okay, I apologize if I screwed that up.
Mm-hmm.
Today's Skip versus Ernestine. We debate war on Iran, how to save your marriage, 56 days, and shelter.
Yeah.
What a wild fucking spread of stuff to hit on. Like, hey, first we're going to talk about this deadly war. And then afterwards, how do you feel about shelter? Like, what's happening? 1.8 thousand views.
On Twitter, he just clipped. I assume it was just to clip the portion of it and put it out on Twitter. Ernestine and I share thoughts on the war in Iran. 6.5 minute video. 5 million views on that one.
The only thing that gives me solace is he has 253,000 subscribers on YouTube and 1.8 thousand people watch this. So that gives me hope that at least some people are like, whoa, I don't know that anything my takes there.
Hang on. What YouTube page did he buy and rebrand?
I have so many questions and I don't even want one of the answers, but what a sideshow. But anyway, the point of all this, sports media's got to be better.
Yeah, his tweet actually before he tweeted out about Ernestine and I share our thoughts on the war in Iran and said, rest in peace, Lou Holtz. And then he said, rest in peace, Lou Holtz, great football coach. Here's me and my wife's thoughts on Iran. Crazy.
Oh, my God. What is happening?
It's unfortunate to what's happening in the world.
Not great.
Yeah, it's not. But, it is great. The people listening to this podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening all the way till the very end. As we mentioned, this is our last real podcast until free agency starts. Yeah. We will have a podcast, but again, you guys are just gonna have to stay locked in to see what that's going to be about. What our podcast is going to be about. 5-star rating and review time here for the Friday episode. This one was 3 days ago. From I love that the name of this review is That Football Show, and then it says from That Football Show. We did not leave this ourselves, but we appreciate you guys. Matt and Tucker are an amazing 1-2 punch with real football knowledge, sprinkling a lot of wit, humor, over exaggeration, fandom, and interesting content on both the Chiefs and the whole league. I'm a huge fan and a long time listener. I haven't missed a pod in a year, and there's my gosh, this one is long. I know I said I would read. I mean, it's still scrolling.
That's comment.
That is, wow. That's very long. That's very,
You told the people you were going to read it. You're going to read it.
I did tell the people I'm going to read it.
Somebody took that amount of time to.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Matt. I'm a man of my word. If I don't have my word, what do I have?
You have the war in Iran, apparently.
Yeah. There's nothing better than That Football Show Monday episode after a regular season game, win or loss. My favorite league calendar event that they cover for like 3 to 4 shows is the schedule release. It's absolutely hilarious. Most very accurate and is still a good way to get to thinking about the season. It'll sound something like this in May. Oh, so he wrote a script for us is what he did. I should send you the screenshot so you can read your part and then I can read my part as like a table read. But I can't fit it all in one screenshot, so I'll just read it all. Tucker. So the NFL released the day of the 2026 regular season schedule release. Matt, man, the NFL is king. They released the date of the schedule when they were going to release the dates, of course. And we'll watch a full night of TV for like bozos. Tucker. Correct. And broadcast partners and teams will be releasing games early in the days leading up to the release, including international games. Wow, he's making me sound a lot smarter than I think I really am. Matt. Oh, thank goodness. I get to know when the Browns play the Saints on week 11 on a November Sunday morning live from Paris. Roll the ball out. Here you go. That's a Chernobyl level disaster game. Tucker. Yeah. Gross. Should we go live for that? Yeah, that actually doesn't sound like me. Shadir versus Tyler Shuck. Maybe Deshaun Watson versus an unretired Derek Carr. Matt, if you're up at 8 a.m. to watch that game, you should be charged with war crimes. I'm talking potential full lobotomy. You aren't well. Seek help. Tucker, with both teams already like 2-8 anyway, we'll know the order of the games and the dates of the times of the Chiefs game schedule here in a few weeks. Always good to see how many late night, random holiday, and non-Sunday games they hand the Chiefs. Matt, especially with Kelsey coming back, you get either of the gravity year of Taylor Swift, and if Mahomes is ready to go week 1, they'll abuse the primetime slots those first 4 weeks. If he's not ready, get ready for Chiefs Raiders or Chiefs Jets at noon, buried in a good slate of games. But with him, they're a premier watch. Tucker, without Mahomes, are the Chiefs still 14-point favorites adjusted for Jets against the Jets? And they'll put on the Chiefs on Thanksgiving or Christmas Day again. They do have 9 away games in 2026, so the NFL will send the Chiefs internationally too for an away game, right? They have to. Matt, of course. Here's Chiefs at Niners in Fiji on a Tuesday at midnight. The Niners are in Australia. Maybe they can meet somewhere in the Pacific Ocean and get all their fans to watch a Tuesday night football game. Tucker, Sky Moore revenge game. Matt, Sky Moore will go like 9 for 140 and a touchdown, and Brett Veach will think, oh, wow, I got to trade a 2027 fifth to get Sky Moore back on this roster. He'll fix the wide receiver room. Tucker, and in his first game back at Arrowhead, he goes full Sky Moore to the stat line, 2 targets, no catches. That would be pretty funny. Matt, in any event, you're right. We'll see them play the hits at Buffalo later in the season. Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Week 18 in a division Thursday night primetime game. And before the Fiji trip, they'll probably send them to Dubai or Siberia on a Wednesday in July. Here you go, Minshew versus Herbert live from Siberia. That'd be crazy. Tucker, and somehow the state of Kansas will fund the whole thing. Hey, he does capture my essence very well. I will say this. Editor's note on my end. Captures my essence well. And make sure of it. All the travel, the plane, the hotel, everything, Matt. Oh, absolutely. They'll get the new stadium drawn up for KCK, but how about Azerbaijan? And better yet, can we put the stadium on the moon? Kansas taxpayers paying for that too. Tucker, right. Anyway, we'll get to the full schedule on Friday's edition of That Football Show. Following the release of the schedule, I'll need some Ben Holiday Bald and Bond Bourbon for that one, or a whole bottle. Thank you for that awesome review.
That's a guy who's committed.
I really do appreciate that. Thank you for making me read all of that as well. This guy, Terry the Mailman, left a review as well, but it was only a 3-star review. No, it's not. Thank goodness it's not longer. It's only a 3-star review. And I did say I would only read 5-star reviews, but it's very positive to us.
Better be.
Yeah, Matt and Tucker bring the hard truth and funny yet offensive tackle possible. Number 9 pick. Nuclear Holocaust destruction we feel will only happen if they do. Opinions, and I'm here for all of it. I listened to you guys on my 14-mile walking route as a postman, and it's a highlight of my day. Keep it coming. Yeah, appreciate all you guys. Now you know. Now you guys know that if you write something, I will read it with a 5-star review on the program.
Yep.
We tested that theory, and Matt made me do it.
That's right, because we stand by our word, and also because I didn't have to read it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it wasn't my problem.
It was my problem, and I handled it. And we'll handle much more things on That Football Show. That's why you got to like and subscribe. Stay locked in here. We appreciate you guys. If you want a KC Sports Network code, go check it out. ShopKCSN.com. We also have We also have That Football Show merch as well. If you go to ShopKCSN.com, you can go find that as well. If you want to rock some That Football Show merch as well. Nobody's brought up the fact that I changed the logo. We've had this logo change for a month, Matt. No one's mentioned it a single time.
You know what? People are so locked in on the show. They didn't catch it.
It is what it is. All right. That's going to do it. For Matt Verderame and Tucker Franklin, thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Bald and Bond Bourbon. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. See you then.